We operate under the assumption that global trade is a massive, indestructible web. When a conflict breaks out in the Middle East, we typically look at the gas pump and expect to pay a few extra cents for a gallon of fuel. The physical reality is more restrictive. This is the Strait of Hormuz. Measuring exactly 21 kilometers across, it's the primary conduit keeping the modern world fed. 30% of global fertilizer originates here. If a blockade shuts this strait, distribution abruptly stops. Global food production is projected to fall by up to 25% within 2 to 3 months of a shutdown. Without these inputs, the soil cannot yield enough to sustain current populations. Modern agriculture depends on nitrogen fixed through the Haber-Bosch process. Biologists estimate that without this artificial supplement, the Earth can only physically support about 1 to 2 billion people. Geopolitical conflict in this region starts a countdown. If the Strait of Hormuz is blocked, the result is a rapid shift toward global famine. The same gas fields in the Persian Gulf that produce energy also capture roughly 30% of the world's helium. Because helium is chemically inert, it is the only element capable of providing the specific cooling environment required to manufacture semiconductors. These automated cleanrooms are the heart of the hardware industry. South Korea, which makes 2/3 of the world's memory chips, receives 65% of its helium from the Gulf. A disruption here halts these machines immediately. Experts warn of a complete shutdown in chip production within 3 months of a helium shortage. Because the gas is small enough to leak through solid containers, it is impossible to stockpile for more than a few months. Closing the Strait of Hormuz paralyzes the physical production of the digital economy. It stops the manufacturing of everything from smartphones to the automotive chips required for modern transportation. The risk of conflict is amplified by Iran's defensive posture. Their military is segmented into 31 autonomous underground divisions, making it nearly impossible to disable through conventional airstrikes or leadership decapitation. This creates the conditions for the Samson Doctrine. The name refers to the biblical story of a man who collapses the pillars of a temple, ensuring his own death to destroy his enemies. If Israel faces an existential defeat in a conventional war, their military doctrine allows for the use of their nuclear arsenal as a final, desperate act of deterrence. Modern nuclear weapons have yields 1,000 times greater than the bomb that leveled Hiroshima. A regional exchange of this scale would loft enough soot into the stratosphere to block sunlight, triggering a nuclear winter and a total collapse of global trade. A failure of regional diplomacy forces a massive physical retreat from the complexities of modern civilization. While physical supply chains face military threats, a simultaneous economic crisis is developing within the technology sector, the artificial intelligence boom. Tech giants are spending hundreds of billions on AI, outpacing actual revenue by 5 to 1. As this technology matures, it automates labor. Industry leaders, including the head of Anthropic, estimate 50% of white-collar roles could be permanently displaced by automated agents. Our physical supply chains are threatened by war from the outside, while our labor market is being hollowed out by automation from the inside. Governments and global corporations are focused on maintaining macro systems that are currently fracturing. They are unlikely to provide a safety net for individuals when these systems fail. Economist Steve Keen suggests a pivot toward micro-resilience. This begins with energy independence, removing your household's reliance on a fragile global power and oil market. Installing a residential solar power system creates a localized energy source. It ensures that basic household functions remain operational, even if international energy markets are paralyzed by conflict. We must also address the food supply at the household level. Developing the skills to grow your own food provides a necessary buffer against the shortages caused by global fertilizer disruptions. Prepare for an economic contraction by recognizing that paper wealth in the tech sector can disappear. As the AI bubble reconciles with actual revenue, companies will pull back, valuations will drop, and staff will be laid off to preserve capital. Global economic systems are currently ignoring the physical limits of the planet. Building your own backup system is the only rational defense against a system that has become too complex to survive its own fractures.